Hello and welcome to this video for the Online Business Builder YouTube channel. My name is Patrick. Now today in this video we're going to talk about how to plan your online business and all the different things you need to consider and think about. This is like the 10,000 foot high view of how your business will look, and the different tools and features and mechanisms, if you like, for how to build it and to market and sell your products online. Now, in order to illustrate what's required, I'm going to use what we call a mind map. A mind map is a way of communicating your thoughts from a central point. So the central point is how to build an online business, and you can draw lines off from that central point, different colors and things, and list all the different areas and specific things you want to talk about in those different areas. It's a nice way of illustrating what you're talking about, and you'll see as we go into it. In order to create the mind map, I'm using a tool called Miro, and you can access it for free on the web. There'll be a link down below how to access it. I believe you can create up to 3 mind maps for free, and you create them all online and store them, and you can come back to them at any time. I'm also going to join this video is almost like a mini tutorial using the very basic elements of the Miro or Miro, not quite sure how it's pronounced, tool, so you'll see. So let's switch over to the mind map. And when you go into Miro and create your first mind map, you get an initial template. And in the middle, you would define your central idea. So in my case, well, the reason for this video is we're going to show the building an online business, all the different factors and areas that you might consider. So this is your central point, the reason for creating the mind map. And as you look to the right and to the left, you see these tendrils or lines and curves going off where you can put down different thoughts and characteristics, and you can color code them into all the different aspects of the things that you need. So the first thing you have to consider is, what kind of products are you going to sell? So let's type that into one of these sections. Let's add in products, question mark. If you're building an online business, there's several different types of products you can do, and they're characterized in multiple ways. So the first thing is the type of product, and you have physical products. So for example, you might already have an existing brick and mortar business where you're selling physical products to customers. And you, of course, can build a website to allow people to buy those products online, and you can deliver them to your customers in the same way. Another type of product is a virtual product. And these products can be made up of different types. So you have documents, videos, audios, etc. So let's list these all down as well. We'll add these to the list. So we've got documents. So you might be selling user guides, manuals, etc. Then you've got, if we go back and click here and click a plus, we can add another thing. You've got audio, so these could be audio files that people can listen to. And if you go back down and link again. And the third example could be some kind of service, like a membership. We'll call it service stroke membership. So this could be some kind of membership to something that you're producing. These are the 3 core ones, but there are others as well. Another way of defining how those products might work is how you collect money for selling that service. So, for example, if I click here, we've got, so we'll call it sales. And one type of sale is a fixed fee. Another type of sale is a monthly subscription. It doesn't have to be monthly, of course, it could be yearly. Another type of sale could be you're providing a service for free, but you're advertising other things around it. So you're not actually charging people for the service, but ads are being placed around your products so that you're earning money from that advertising. And these are the three core ones, the three core ways of producing sales. So as you can see, we've got a nice description there of the different types of products. Okay. Now, in order to communicate with people, you need to market your products out into the world. So how do you do that? Well, you need to try multiple different channels. So what I'm going to do here, over here, I'm going to type in channel. So channel, you need what they call multi-channel strategy. And a channel is one of the ways of marketing. So for example, one of them is social media. Now everybody knows about Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, for example. And this is what is included in this. Social media. While we're here, let's list them out. So we've got Facebook is very popular, as we know. We've got Instagram, and if you're not aware, Facebook owns Instagram. You've got WhatsApp, which is also owned by Facebook. You've got Google provides a social media environment as well, and I'll explain more later. Google's mainly involved with search engine optimization, etc., but they do also have a kind of a social media type environment as well. So we can list Google there. We've got Pinterest. We've got a new one that's just coming up, which is getting more and more popular. So we have TikTok, which is a recent new social media tool that has exploded onto the scene in the last 12 months or so. And there are many more as well. Let's just move this out the way. Oops. What else are we missing? Yes, look, we've got Twitter. Twitter is very important as well. We've got LinkedIn, which is like an online CV, supercharged CV website. These are all useful tools, and I've probably forgotten some of them, but we'll go into those in more detail in the future. Other social media, other channels, well, there's Google. Now, Google has something called search engine optimization. It's not the only company that does it, but it completely dominates it. I mean, we have other ones like Yahoo and Microsoft. Microsoft with their Bing search engine, and Yahoo, when you go to yahoo.com. But Google absolutely dominates this environment. So it's important that we look at that one first. Don't necessarily ignore the other two, but Google is by far the greatest. And search engine optimization is that mechanism that when you're in Google, in fact, let me go and demonstrate. If I flick over to Google, when you're at the Google screen, if you type in an inquiry into Google, then let's have a look. Let's try buying shoes. You can see in this Google search results screen that Google has two types of links. At the top, you see these ones prefixed by ad. These are paid adverts. So one way you can drive traffic to your online business is to pay Google to present adverts. And when people click on the advert, you will be taken to your website. The second way is through organic search results. We come down here. These results here are actually free. And this is what we call organic search. And basically, you have to train Google to recognize that your website is important enough and has the relevant information for the search phrase, the keyword phrase, which is what we know here in this example is buying shoes. That is known as a keyword phrase. And when you enter that into Google, it brings up websites, links to websites which are applicable to that. Okay, so it's very important. Very powerful tool for driving traffic to your search engine. So we will come back to that later. So Google SEO, and as we talked about, there are two types. There are the paid advertising, and there is organic SEO. It's a massive multi-billion-dollar business, trillion-dollar even, probably getting close to now. Google started 15, 20 years ago from nothing, and because of the algorithms and the tools that they provided, they have grown to dominate the search environment. Whether it's on your mobile phone, your tablet, your computer, your any electronic device that's linked to the internet has Google embedded in some way inside it, and will help you to drive traffic to your site. Okay, so that is the example on. This is an example of a very powerful channel. The next one I want to talk about, if we come back, is email. Now, traditionally, email has been a very, very powerful tool for informing your clients about your products and services. And in the last few years, social media has come on the scene, and a lot of people began to neglect email marketing. And I say, don't. Email is very, very powerful still, and everybody has an email address. And the nice thing about, the beauty about all of these things is that you can automate it. So you have automation where you can pre-design all your emails and send them out automatically, and depending on how people respond, you can send out further emails to encourage people to purchase your products and services on the internet. Okay, so it's a very, very, very important tool. So email, the whole process of generating emails can be automated. So there's quite a lot of work at the beginning setting up all of these emails and things. But once you've got them running, they can be running automatically in the background 24 hours a day. That's also the same for social media. And we'll talk about more about all of this in future videos as we dive down in more detail into all of these things. As I say, today is just a 10,000-foot overview of the kind of things you need to think about. Right, so I got a bit enthusiastic and added another one of these, so I'm just going to delete it there. Now, the next one we're going to look at is your website. Now, we're going to dive into websites in much bigger detail in another section, but a website is clearly a channel to get people to buy your products. In fact, you're going to be driving your customers to your website in order for them to buy your products online. And your website will have various tools and mechanisms embedded inside it to allow people to order those products, pay by credit card, and have them delivered to them, either virtually downloading immediately or linking into a third-party courier of some sort to send out your physical products out to them. And so clearly it's very, very important. It's very important for your branding. It's very important as the mechanism. You know, the beauty of online businesses is online brick and mortar. You know, if you're setting up a physical shop, you have to rent or buy a shop. You have to fit it out. You have to spend a lot of money on advertising. The beauty of the internet and all of this is your distribution mechanism for products, especially if they're virtual products, is completely free except for paying for an internet connection and your website, which is nothing, okay, compared to the amount of money you have to spend in setting up a physical shop, okay. So that website must be fast. It must be quickly load on people's mobile phones and computers. It must be easy to use, 2 or 3 clicks to buy something maximum. It's got to be friendly. There's got to be a way of communicating with you. There's got to be useful information, ways of presenting good information for people so that they come back again and again, ways of retaining your customers. It's okay when they come the first time, that's beautiful, but you want them to come back again and again and again. Websites these days, if we go back and refer to Google, have to be optimized to go onto Google, okay? And that's a critical factor which we briefly mentioned before in the Google section up here. You basically have to design and optimize your website to train the Google search engine to love you and put you on the front page of search results pages for different keyword phrases. It's been shown that most people will only click on the first 3 links. So you need to be up to the top of that page from the beginning. Now you can do that using paid advertising. The organic SEO, which is free, will take months and months and months to get up there, but we're going to cover that in future videos. Okay. So going back to the website is obviously clearly very important. Now, whilst I've been talking, I just realized there was a very large social media platform that I've neglected to mention, and I'm going to put it in now, and that is YouTube, which is, of course, owned by Google. YouTube is amazing. It's not the only video platform out there, but it is the biggest and the best known. Once again, it's owned by, so if I can actually create an association, it's owned by Google. There's a link there, and all this search engine optimization can also be applied to YouTube. You're watching YouTube right now because you're watching this video on YouTube, so you can see how important it is. And all of these optimization techniques, search engine optimization techniques, need to be applied to YouTube, and there's a whole suite of tools and things that you can use for that as well. Okay, it's the same with tools like Facebook. Okay, Facebook also you can add videos to, and Instagram as well, and WhatsApp. All of these things. Everything's connected in a big mesh, and the beauty is that you create content once, and you can deploy this content, videos, audios, documents, texts, one time across all of these platforms at the same time. Okay, and it helps to start build up an environment to encourage people to come to your site. And you, as time builds up, it's like one of these. I don't know how to explain it. A logarithmic curve. You know these graphs where it starts up slow and then gradually, suddenly it goes up and boom. Okay, that's when you go viral. When it becomes a self-sustaining marketing, lead-generating monster, which leads to huge sales. And this is what you want to get to. This is your goal. But to do that, you need to consider all of these different platforms and all these different mechanisms in order to create an issue that to create the business, attract the customers, and let them buy on your website. Okay, right. So the next channel is partnerships. When you're building an online business, your products and services will also be complementary to others, and therefore you can work with other companies to partner together to encourage them to sell your products and you sell their products because they're complementary to the ones that you have for your customers. So if you're in the same industry and you're selling similar products, you can partner. And there's a specific way then of generating income from that. So if you're selling somebody else's product which is complementary to yours, to your customer base, you're acting as what they call an affiliate. And there's a whole industry around this which is massive called affiliate marketing. Okay? And affiliate marketing is when you sell somebody else's product to your client base and you collect a commission, which is normally at least 50%. Okay? And vice versa. So you can take somebody else's product and you can earn a commission from selling theirs, or it's a two-way thing. You can create a product and sell your product through those third party, and they can act as your affiliate as well. And that's beautiful because that helps you go viral, and you're not spending any money. You're providing the product, you provide the marketing material with that product, and they send it out, distribute it out to their customers, okay? Which is, and you collect 40, 50, 60% commissions from that, okay? That is fantastic. Okay, so the next channel I want to talk about is phone calls. Okay, now, it seems like something from the Victorian age now, but phoning people and talking to them is still a very powerful way. You know, in marketing, there's the old adage that word of mouth is the most powerful way of spreading information about your products or services, and that is still true today. Now, it's been supercharged because of social media, but there's nothing wrong with calls. And in fact, you know what? I'm going to add face-to-face. Okay, you're going to be in situations where you're talking to people. It could be at conferences with friends and family, other businesses, other people in the street, whatever, who knows. You can talk to them about your business, and you can provide a link immediately to go and so they can go and explore. This is so important, so important, and it continues today. Okay, so don't be afraid of talking to people about your business as well. You have to act as a salesman, saleswoman, okay, and you have to be marketing your online business 100%. all the time. Okay? So face-to-face is still very, very important. A final one I want to talk about today, and this is not an exhaustive list, there are plenty of others, and you can kind of argue this is part of social media, but I'm going to talk about it as a separate thing. Podcasts. So podcasts, now I keep doing that. I keep adding the extra one there, and I don't need to delete it. Right. Podcasts are audio files, audio representations of something. So let's say you record a 1 hour or 30-minute discussion about your products and services, and you can upload it onto podcast servers, and they'll be broadcast around the world, and people can download to their phone using podcast players. So most phones from Google and Apple, etc., they either have inbuilt podcast players or you can download the apps. This is a very nice way for people to listen to you about what's going on, because it's so convenient. They download it to the mobile and they listen to it as they're walking down the street. They listen to it as they're in their car. I do this all the time. I listen to dozens of podcasts every week because I love learning about new things as I carry on. We're going to talk about this in future videos about the psychology of selling, the how you have to act to maximize your opportunity as a human being, as a salesman, as a marketing person. And we'll have separate videos about that as well. So podcasts are another very powerful and very convenient way of disseminating information. Okay, right. So those are all the channels. There are others, but we've got a limited time. By the way, I'm going to keep this video, I'm going to talk for about 30 minutes on this video, and if we don't finish, then this video becomes part one of a two-part series, because then I'll record a second part straight afterwards, because I don't want to make the videos too long in one go. Okay, so let's carry on. Let's go back to websites, specifically websites. Okay, so up here, we're going to talk about websites as a separate thing. So websites are made up of two components. Now you see, I've done it again. Actually, while I'm here, right, let me delete this, because this is also a little mini tutorial. We want to introduce different color schemes. So if I click on this and click this icon, I can change this color. Let's make it something completely different, like yellow. So as you can see, as I zoom out with the wheel on my mouse, you're beginning to see that the different areas are in different colors, and that makes it very, very nice. You know, in fact, social media is such a big area. I'm going to make that a unique color. Let's make it green, because it's such an important area, social media on its own. Resource. In fact, well, Google is also very important as well. So this can quickly explode. Let's try orange. Okay. And the rest of them, these are all big as well, but they're linked. So this website link is referring to the channel, but we now want to talk about websites generally. So I'm going to slide the mind map up here and zoom in a bit with my mouse wheel and move straight on. Right, so websites. Websites are made up of two major components. There's a domain name. Now the domain name is the address, the unique address that a human being can read to identify the website. So for example, google.com is the domain name for the google.com website. Okay. Now underneath that name is a unique series of numbers called an IP address. Okay. And that IP address is what's recognized by computers to direct people to that website. But as we're human beings, of course, we're not expected to remember these numbers. So domain names are the normal names for these websites. So bbc.co.uk is the website for the BBC. CNN.com is the domain name for the website. As you said, google.com is a domain name. So you need, when you're building a website, you need a domain name. The next thing you need is a hosting plan. Or hosting company. So when you build your website, you need to deploy it somewhere so everybody can see it. And to do that, you need to rent a computer somewhere, what they call a server, to host a physical website on, and then this website is replicated around the world so that everybody can see it. Its address is disseminated around the world, so anybody on any device anywhere around the world within a certain amount of time, normally 24 hours, can access that site. Okay? So you need to rent that facility, and normally you pay an annual or monthly fee to a hosting company, and normally they bundle the hosting and the domain name together. So when you pay for the hosting, they give you the free domain name. Okay, so we'll go into that in a separate video about different types of hosting companies and what to look for. But it's very, very important to choose the correct hosting company directly. Now, there are some companies out there that provide the full toolkit for building your website, and at the same time they host it at the same time. So it's like an all-in-one package. And there are advantages to that and disadvantages to that, which we need to consider. So the next aspect about website is the platform, the toolkit. Toolkit/platform. So this is how you would build your website. So there are platforms and toolkits for people who are technically aware. Right at the far end, if you had drew a line and you had the most extreme technical knowledge over this side, and then on the other side, on this side you had extreme technical knowledge, and on this side you had no idea how to build a website, there are platforms for everyone. Okay, but there are pros and cons. Typically, the ones that are most easy to use platforms don't have the same level of functionality and facilities to help you promote your websites and do more clever things with them. But the advantage is that you don't have to do any coding, for example. It's all drag and drop. You can assemble your website very clearly, very easily. Okay. So, there will be more videos in the future diving into that, looking at platforms that are easy to use from the point of view of a beginner who's not technical, and platforms that are more for technical people and more functionality. So obviously choosing the right kind of platform for building a website is important. And we'll dive into that a lot more in the future. All right, so we're coming up to 28 minutes on this video. I'm going to stop this one now. This is part one. This has now officially become part one of this 10,000 foot view. And I'll be recording the second part immediately afterwards. And you'll see there'll be links to both parts on the channel so that you can take a look. Please, if you found this video very useful, please subscribe to the channel. Click the notification bar so that the little bell that allows you to be notified when the next video is up. And please like or dislike and comment below. Do you like this video? Don't you like this video? I want to build a community. I want you to interact with each other and with me, and together we can build some amazing online businesses. So thank you very much for watching this video. This is Patrick signing off on the Online Business Builder, and we'll see you again soon.